All right, with the Venetian behind me, I'm gonna compare hands per hour seen at the poker table across 3 cities, like Elsinore, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Council Bluffs, Iowa. Did all these counts in previous months, in June, in August, and in September, I think. I don't remember what they were. I did take a picture of them, so I'm gonna put the numbers up on the screen as I give my prediction, and then at the end of the video, I'm gonna look down at my phone and I'm gonna see if I was right or not. So, hands per hour. I expect Vegas to be the most because Vegas has a lot of hands that end quickly. There's a straddle and everyone just folds. There's a raise and everyone folds. Those hands are over quickly. California doesn't have a lot of hands where you do not get to the flop. Council Bluffs doesn't have a lot of hands where you do not get to the flop. So that's one reason why I expect Vegas to be more. Also, Vegas has, well, I guess this works the other way. Vegas has the most people who don't know when it's their turn and they need to be told. And I'm one of the few people in the world who actually tells people it's their turn. Council Bluffs, you know, it's a lot of locals in California and Council Bluffs. Not a lot of like recreational players, not a lot of, they're not all pros, but not a lot of players very new to poker. So they usually know when it's their turn. So even hands that go to the river, the action is pretty fluid. We're not paused, we're not telling someone it's his or her turn. So that would work the other way. I would still say though, Vegas must have the most hands per hour. Now it is all small sample size, so it could just be that Vegas happened to have like, I don't know, lazy dealers, a shuffler, malfunction, the floor was called for some reason, the waitress happened to always ask a guy for his drink order when it was his turn. That's incredibly annoying. By the way, and I thanked this waitress every single time she was in the poker room, WinStar, last time I was there, had one waitress who knew poker enough to wait. She waited till the hand was over. She kind of stayed fairly close to the table, not like hovering, waited till the hand was over to ask if anyone wanted a drink, and it sped up the game so much, or not sped up, but prevented the game from slowing down so much. Most waitresses, not all of them, but most don't care in the least. They just ask for drink orders. They take total attention away from the players. It really slows down the game sometimes. I was there for like 7 weeks. Every single time that waitress was in the poker room, I thanked her for doing that because she deserved to be thanked. Anyway, I'm gonna look now and we'll see what the numbers are. All right, California, we saw 155 hands, Vegas 218. So Vegas did beat California by a lot. And Council Bluffs was kind of in the middle there at 187. So I expected Council Bluffs and Lake Elsinore to be similar. I was right that Vegas was the most. And 218 over California's 155. Like, I guess like every hand in California wasn't all in. There was money going in multi-way on like all 4 streets. And Vegas, I remember that day at Bally's, Vegas had a lot of hands. You might call it the horseshoe. Vegas had a lot of hands that were just done. Many hands did not even get to the turn. We did have one wild guy in seat 5 for a while. He was driving a lot of the action. He left about halfway through the count. So Vegas had a lot of hands in pre, and I guess it was weird. I'm trying to think why California and Council Bluffs weren't like so similar. They were off by about 30 hands. I don't know. I guess it was just kind of in the middle. California, like to the extreme, like so many hands, like 3 ways, 4 ways, including all ins. We needed the full board to run out. And in, you know, Council Bluffs, of course, more hands like that in Vegas, but I guess that day wasn't an extreme. And if you remember yesterday's video, tips, it was not a crazy amount of tips. I don't remember exactly what the case was, but I remember thinking Council Bluffs was a little lackluster that day at the table. I can't like very vividly remember that table that day, but I guess it was a little off what I remember as a typical Council Bluffs table. So kind of got 2 of the 3 right. Vegas the most hands, California the least, and I was kind of a little off about Council Bluffs. So partially right, 2 out of 3 correct. And tomorrow, next one, comparing 3 cities in these poker counts. And remember, rice is a spoon food.